once again, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, and all other things that are related to the vaccine, those things are actually possible. Now, the yellow card system in this country, I'll tell you, I have lots of friends who are doctors, insiders in different hospitals in this country. Let me tell you something. Look, listen. Well, they're going to lose their job. But let me tell you something. No one's going to do that.
I've lost 2 jobs.
No, let me tell you something.
I've lost 2 jobs,
let me tell you something.
honest.
Look, the yellow card system itself is not being done properly. So when someone comes in with one of these side effects after having a vaccine, it's not always the case that that's going to be recorded, number one. So the doctors are not going to always say. So we have suppressed statistics as to what is actually going on. Even by the way, even the suppressed statistics that we do have, that the government is admitting to, they're saying what, 1,000 people died. That's no joke. For people that are under 1,000 people, but that's a suppressed statistic. We know that's not something.
And they manipulated the statistics they used to convince everyone to do this. There's a book called How to Lie with Statistics, which everyone should read, and you can relate it completely to what's going on.
And what do you think about them wanting to vaccinate children?
I think it's an abomination.
Unbelievable.
It's an abomination. Do you know? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Right? We talk about Afghanistan and the Taliban. No. Let's bring up. We're talking. Neither am I. Quite frankly, I don't speak the language. I don't know. I've never been there myself. But whatever. At the end of the day, for me to have an exogenous substance coming into my body, that's more of an infringement of my freedom of rights than a lot of the things that they're coming with. Giving you a passport and telling you you have to put fluids into your body.
It's the most offensive thing I've ever heard that the government
Can we all stand together against vaccines for children?
Oh yes, no doubt about it.
Please.
Yes. No, look, let me tell you something. Once again, okay, I think medical experts are not the ones to consult here.
No, definitely not.
I'll tell you what.
There's a moral dimension to this.
No, it's not just that.
There is a moral dimension. It's not.
What you need to look at, because before I had the view, well, let's see what this does.
Absolutely.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
No, that's sensitive.
Okay.
That's a slur.
But I'm not an anti-vaxxer or pejorative, whatever you want to call it.
That is a pejorative.
Yeah, I know. So-called, I should say. What they refer to as. I'm not that. But what I am is someone who likes to look at statistics, and make judgments. What I know, what I've looked at, even with previous vaccinations like measles, mumps, and rubella, it took 4 to 6 years for them to trial that. Okay. Now, what we're talking about is we're talking about a vaccination which has been rushed in an unprecedented way. Do you know what they say about us being? Do you know the idea that we are guinea pigs? That is actually true. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt.
No, there is no doubt about that. Do you know when they say that that's not the case? Whoever says that that's not the case does not know the first thing about the philosophy of science or the history of it.
Exactly.
You are guinea pigs. I saw the Jamaican president. I'm not sure if you saw this. No, he came out one time. I'm not Hamza Mohammed, by the way, but that's right. But let me tell you something, all right? He came out, Jamaican president or prime minister, I don't know if he's a president, and he said that something to the effect of, let them try it first and see what happens.
Yes, he did.
I'm thinking.
Whereas we live in a country where they have to be the ones that win. We have to do this.
I don't think that is the motive. I'm not going to speculate. That's the narrative. But do not forget, Pfizer and AstraZeneca, they make a lot of money.
They do. No, they're just little mom and pop companies. But it's just like a little bakery.
The corruption in this country is top grade corruption. And when we go to our country, like where our parents are from, we're British, but where our parents are from, there's corruption, but it's quite clear. I mean, you can see what you get. What you see is what you get.
I've travelled a lot in India. I know all about that.
That's
you got an open bribe culture. It's closed.
It's not even a bribe culture. This is tacit collusion to the highest degree. Everyone knows that this is the case.
Wickedness in high.
We're no longer.
This is
the problem.
They need to talk
This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the issue. But let's just employ critical reasoning to look at the facts. The facts are this. The facts are you just don't know what kind of effect this is going to have in the long term. Even in the medium term, we don't even know the stats of the short term.
No. And they said that you can't even analyse the stats properly.
It's equivalent to doing.
And also, how does it?
how does it feel being told it's your duty to have this foreign substance? I feel pretty scared. I feel like a cornered animal. It makes me.
No. For that, no. This for me
is an infringement.
Well, that claims to be a liberal country, right?
Yes, exactly.
Now, if I have to go and do this. You go abroad, and they won't even bring you back into this country, which is meant to be your country, unless you fill out the paperwork. Unless you do what they want.
This is not British. This is not British.
No, it's not British.
This is not British.
It's not British.
It's not anything, my friend. It's not even clever.
But specifically,
it's not British and it's not
a lot of our principles of law are based on not doing that.
Yes.
That is a huge part, and it's what separates us from the Europeans generally.
I don't see how, I'm confused. The rhetoric that we're finding is like, we're meant to be, okay, it's all about freedom of choice. But now what you're doing is you're giving us all of these, kind of threats. No, they're threats. They are threats. They are legal threats. They are legal, because if I don't comply, then there will be consequences.
Did you hear about Morrison's?
No.
That we're going to. Yeah, it was. They docked sick pay for unvaccinated people.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Well, I know it's America, but did people hear what Biden said the other day?
Yeah, we're losing patients.
Our patience is running thin. That's a direct threat to your electorate. There is no other way to phrase that when they say we've had a lot of patience with you, but our patience is wearing thin. That's what an abuser would say. It's an abusive relationship that we're coming.
What I do want to give, since we're on this point, sorry. One thing I do want to say, since we talk about vaccinations, wrap up this conversation. Actually, the government has a scheme. The scheme is if you've suffered any kind of disability from the vaccination. Now, just bear in mind, this scheme is in the government website. I'm not making this up. If you've suffered any disability from the vaccination, they will look at your case and see if you're entitled to a compensation or something, right? Why would they put that there in the first place?
If they didn't expect it to.
No, this is the point, right? Yeah. So what are you talking about, disability? Why would I take something
that potentially could make me
to protect other people, not me? Because are you scared of if you get COVID? Do you think you'll die?
I had COVID.
Yeah, you got me too.
But do you know what? Do you know what's funnier? I had COVID after I took the vaccine.
No. You're joking.
No, honestly. I made the mistake. I made the mistake of taking the vaccine.
Really?
I made the mistake.
And that's why
But then, let me tell you something. Hold on. After I took the vaccine, why do I know so much?
I wonder.
No, because then I got a blood clot.
No.
Yeah. I got pulmonary. I myself got pulmonary embolism.
That's awful.
Yeah. I got pulmonary embolism from it.
And what happened? What did they do?
How long ago was this?
This was some months ago. Yeah.
Are you okay now?
Now I'm alright. You know what? No. So I took the vaccine. I got pulmonary embolism because about 10 days after I took the vaccine.
Actually, I'm here filming people. Would you mind saying this on camera?
Well, look.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I know, but I'm getting clips for mine.
Oh, and that's fine. Yeah. But let him. Can you help him just film it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I just want this story on.
So,
this particular
no problem. Yeah. Because you've got. I took the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine. Yeah. And then some 10 days, 11 days later, I was coughing out blood. So I was thinking, what's this? In fact, I came to Speakerscorner on that day. And I was thinking, I'm losing my fitness. I'm losing because what happens when you have pulmonary embolism is that your breathing becomes very short breathing and stuff. So what happened after that is one of my friends here in the park, they took me to the hospital. I said, I don't want to stay here, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So they took me to St. Mary's, which is nearby. And we done a blood test. Well, you know, they do something called a D-dimer, which is like so I done the D-dimer, blood test, and they said that you can't leave the hospital. I said, what's going on? They said, you've got a blood clot. I said, come on, man, I want to go home. I won't waste my time. So what happened after that was they said, okay, they looked at it, and I had what you call lung infarction as well.
Right.
So what happens is when you get a pulmonary embolisms are blood clots in the lung. Yeah, there are 3 different arteries. You know, there are we call the segmental arteries, the subsegmental arteries, and then you got the pulmonary artery. Yeah, the segmental artery is like the medium one. The subsegmental is the smallest one. The pulmonary artery is like the thickest one. If the blood clot goes through the pulmonary artery, it kills you. This is sudden death.
Yes.
It's sudden death, yeah. So what happened was, my one was in the segmental artery. So it's not. So you got your pulmonary artery, you got segmental artery, and then you have the subsegmental artery. My blood clots because there was many of them, yeah. It came through the segmental artery, yeah. So what it is that they done a MRI and a CT scan, I should say, yeah. And they saw that because what happens when you have pulmonary embolism is lung infarction is basically when you have death of the lung. So my left lung basically died, part of it, and it doesn't come back to life. It's permanent damage. It's permanent damage. It is permanent damage.
Wow.
Now the thing is, when I was speaking to because I went to more than one hospital because I had more than one episode, yeah. I spoke to a few people, and from the doctors they're telling me that, yeah, do you know what, people die from this at your age. And with me, I insisted the guys knew me in the hospital, whatever, they done the yellow card, yeah, which is to say that they reported it, that I had what you call an unprovoked situation. But a lot of times it's not the case. Look, I'm 29. I'm 29 years old. 29, yeah. For me personally, I took the vaccine. I was not, I was not erring in the side of caution from that perspective, but I regretted it. Now I'm getting messages on my phone saying take the second dose. So, okay. Hey,
oh my God.
And if you don't take the second dose, what's going to happen? That you got all these consequences. And genuinely, I've taken the vaccine as per the recommendation of the government. Done what every law-abiding citizen is meant to do. 10 days later, I was on the brink of dying in a hospital, coughing out blood and couldn't breathe. And then let me tell you the truth, yeah, to further the story. After that, they put you on opioids like morphine and stuff like that. Because what it is, it's very sudden and shocking pain, isn't it? It's like stabbing pain. When you breathe in, it's anyone who's been through it will know what I'm talking about. With pulmonary embolism and lung infarction, yeah. So after that, because I didn't realize, never taken that much opioids in my life. I have taken opioids before for other things, but when we're talking about like 400 milligrams, yeah, we're talking about, I was taking morphine, oxycodone, and tramadol. Yes. So this is basically, do you know what it's like? It's like taking heroin.
Absolutely.
It's the same as taking heroin.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling good. I went online a couple of times, but people will know that I went online on Twitter and stuff like that. I made a fool out of myself a couple of times. This was something, some time ago, some months ago. No, this is not an addiction. This was because there's a difference between addiction and dependence. So I had dependence in it. So what it was is that I didn't feel like I need to get off the drug. I didn't feel like I needed the drug, but if I didn't take it, I'm going to get pain. That's how it is. And it's excruciating pain. You can't sleep, you can't do nothing, So what it is with opioids is that when I took it for, as long as I took it for, I built a heavy tolerance. So what I'm thinking, all of a sudden I'm thinking I don't want to take these drugs no more, yeah? So I said, okay, I'm going to stop.
Did you stop, like?
Yeah, I remember, I don't know nothing, innit? I don't know anything.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey. I walk in the street, I start shivering. What's going on here? So what happens is you have withdrawal impact. So I had withdrawal for some time. I realized now you have to taper down, whatever, I'm thinking all of this, because of the vaccination. Now, I don't have anything in my blood that predisposes me to this. I don't have any of the what you call the things that provoke the hematology, if you like, yeah? I don't have anything like that. So for me, after that experience, I thought there's a reason for this. The reason for me having this experience, as a public figure especially, is so that I can relay it back to my community.
Wow.
If I went through this experience, because in the beginning, I'll be honest with you, right? I was listening to debates. I didn't know whose side to take. I'll say it one more time. I'm not an anti-vaxxer per se. I don't subscribe to a particular conspiracy, if you want to call it that, right? But I have first-hand experience, and because of that first-hand experience, I've seen people like me that my age that perished from taking this vaccination. Now, I'm really sorry, but when the government is pushing something like that down people's throat, they don't know what the consequences of that are.
They don't.
They do not know. They are not historians of science. They are not philosophers of science. And by the way, they are philosophers and historians of science will probably be, like I said before, they'll be better off in terms of qualification telling us about the history of vaccines and how they've affected people than scientists. Because the truth of the matter is, scientists, what do they know? They only know based on induction, that which they can generalize from their sample. But the sample is not good enough at the moment. This is basic science, a scientific method. I don't need intense, sorry to say, scientific knowledge or knowledge of chemistry here. I just need to have common sense. If the scientific method is predicated on induction, that's how it works. The sample is not strong enough. But now they're coming out, the MP, and telling people. I'm thinking, when I saw that, I was thinking, come on, man. You're telling people now. I'll tell you the reason why I didn't tell anyone until now.
Is this the first time?
Yeah, it's the first time I took.
Talking about this.
I'll be honest, I don't tell people I've got a lot of enemies. When I'm not,
I know who you are.
when I'm not 100%, I don't ever tell. When I'm not 100% physicality, I don't ever tell anyone that. I only ever tell someone when I'm invulnerable. I don't tell people when I'm ill. I'm sick. I don't. The world don't need to know when I'm sick and ill, especially my enemies. Now I'm invulnerable. I can tell everyone, right? But the problem is, Visor, I try to send them email. Listen, no, honestly, I said to them, look.
Your duty is a religious.
No, honestly, listen. I said to them, give me £2 million.
Too right.
No, I just thought, why not? Give it a try, innit? Otherwise, I'm going to expose you.
You don't know if you don't.
Sure, whatever, you
It's worth a go.
They said, do you know what they sent me? They sent me back that letter from the government website, telling me, oh, you know, you can fill out a disability thing.
Yeah.
But they're telling me I can do disability living allowance. It's called PIP. I said, I'm not going to do PIP. Take money from the taxpayer.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Why should I? I don't want to PIP. I don't want a PIP.
It's the same.
Do you get me? I'm not going to take it. No.
I want to work.
So when I told the what do you call it, vaccination guys, I done my thing. I should be getting some money back, right?
Yeah.
Now look at what happened to the vaccination. I got a letter back saying, they didn't say you're not eligible, but they said we're looking at your case or whatever. It's been a long time ago. So all of this, even the scheme that they have in place,
Even that doesn't work.
Even that doesn't work. And let me tell you something. I got COVID. Do you know when? After I took the vaccine.
After.
So it's an inefficacious vaccine. Inefficacious vaccine. Ineffectual vaccine.
Yeah, it doesn't.
For younger people, it can cause death. It can cause death. It can cause death. No, let's just call it what it is. It can cause death.
It has caused death.
But when I was in a hospital, more than one hospital, they were telling me people your age died.
Yes.
That's what they told me.
Yes.
I'm thinking, why don't we know about this? This is unfair that you're not given two sides like this.
It's beyond unfair. It's evil to hide this information from the public. It is evil is the only word that works.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's diabolical.
Yep.
It's megalomaniacal.
These are good words.
It's abominable. It's condemnable. It is all the superlatives.
Unfair is not strong enough.
It is all of the superlatives, okay? Now, what I'm saying is that the government doesn't know what it's doing. It's proven its incompetence. And what we need is more criticality. If you're working for the NHS, okay, let me say, sorry, if you're working for the NHS, don't just read from the hymn sheet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's total party line.
These are the people that are making the rules for what the public can do that can be deemed responsible, right? They decide.
Listen, the right thing to do. Sorry.
They decide what is responsible behaviour, right? We can only have so many people at a funeral. You can only have 30 people at a funeral. You must wear a mask everywhere, right? But the people that are telling you to do this have been proven to be acting completely irresponsibly, right? And there's hypocrisy.
Yes, and they've proven many times in history that they're untrustworthy. We know they're untrustworthy.
Take them serious.
Look, let me tell you something. When this thing first came out, I was one of the first members of the community to say, stick by the guidelines.
Right.
And by the way, even now I say, look, at the end of the day, I'm not saying COVID doesn't exist. I'm not saying that stuff.
It does.
I'm not saying any of these things. I'm not qualified to say that. I'm not negating or affirming.
Other threats.
But what I am saying is this, is that genuinely, usually I'm making, I'll be honest, an illiberal case. Like, I am opponent to philosophical liberalism.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So are we.
No, but
within reason.
But let me say something. Usually I am making
an illiberal case.
Like I'm making a case against liberalism as a philosophy.
Yeah.
But I actually say, me as somebody who's coming from a completely different paradigm, the way that the governments in the West have reacted to COVID is entirely, it's not just illiberal. It's not just illiberal, it's entirely rash. It's unfathomable. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It reeks of a global cabal.
You can't do this.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
But so genuinely.
It is authoritarian.
So what? Yeah.
Authoritarian.
But not in a way you would ever approve of. That's the point.
Listen, we're talking about the government is making a deep utilitarian case that for the greatest
use children as human shields.
for the elderly or whatever it may be, or for the elders. Now, all of this kind of reasoning, I'm sorry, is completely unjustifiable.
It's demonic.
Yeah, it's unjustifiable.
It's from below.
So in some therefore, I will say this. I will say I'm not saying to anybody. I'm not saying don't take vaccines. I'm not saying that. It's up to you what you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. Honestly, this is genuinely as a personal decision.
Yes.
But what I am going to say is, from my experience as a 29-year-old, when I took that vaccine, 10 days later, they were telling me we need to see for the first 5 days whether you're going to survive or not. That's what they told me.
Yeah.
And you had no...
And
That's
you don't
what they
want
told me.
anyone else to go through.
No. For me, I was ready.
Well, okay, but
why
you
am I?
wish it. I wouldn't want
No, I don't know. I was a bit ready, you know. I done my will actually. I had my will already in place, but you have to make sure, by the way, you have a will. You know, your will has to be. You know, the Muslim community especially. No, you got to be ready to die. You know, if you're not ready to die, you're not living.
But you have to die for something, and that's not an okay thing to die for.
No, I'm not saying you should die for that nonsense.
Exactly.
No, of course not. No, of course. But I'm just telling you my perspective. I was ready, but then I thought to myself, genuinely, they should have told me this. I felt betrayed by the government.
You were not given
I felt betrayed by the government.
consent. It is all
No one told me about this.
Informed
I didn't know anything about this.
consent.
Did not know anything about this.
Everyone needs to know the risks and actually the data of adverse effects that have already happened.
Yes.
It is in the public interest, it's in the public good. Well, to be honest, they're all being coerced anyway. You took it because you were told it would protect the community, not yourself.
Look, bro, I'll be honest with you.
For selfish reasons.
I didn't. I took
didn't
it.
take it
I took it. Yeah, my family, my mother, these kind of things.
Exactly.
You know. But now I say, natural immunity is not a myth.
No,
It's
and they are immunity deniers. The way that they call other people.
It's not a myth.
Anti-vaxxers. They are
honestly.
immune system deniers.
I'm 68 years old. I got COVID.
No way. I thought you were 75. I'm joking.
So I got COVID in December 2019.
Yeah.
So badly that I was actually hospitalised. You know, I couldn't breathe properly.
Did they put a machine and stuff?
No, but
Okay.
This man had one as well.
Anybody had ever heard of COVID? It was the very end of 2019, right?
Yeah.
So it had already reached Britain, but nobody was talking about it, nobody knew what it was. I had the exact symptoms. I couldn't breathe. Terrible dry cough. Put me on a drip, they gave me intravenous antibiotics. I begged them to let me go home, and they did. And they put influenza type A on the discharge sheet.
Oh wow.
Influenza type A, but it was COVID.
Right.
Because it was exactly the symptoms.
Wow.
So I got over it. So back then I was 67. You know, so a 67-year-old.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I got over it. You know, it was horrible.
I've been able to say, but pulmonary embolism is something that no one can get over.
Exactly.
When that clot lodges in your heart, you're
As well.
you had it.
You had it too.
April, I was double vaccinated with AstraZeneca.
Yes.
They didn't tell me the side effects.
Come closer. Yeah.
And what ended up happening is half of my chest ended up having a blood clot.
Yes.
And there was like, oh, it's to do with your own
people in the
cell.
heart.
Well, it's to do with the vaccination, what triggered it. And I was in hospital for 2 months with the same thing, opioids and opioids.
Oh, they gave you opioids as well, yeah?
Yeah.
What they give you? Oxycodone?
Morphine, dihydrocodeine.
Yeah, because
It makes you sick after a while, isn't it?
Yeah, the pain.
It's
is
horrible,
so
man.
bad.
And recently, actually, I just come out of hospital 2 days ago. I had because of the vaccination again, I have a bump in my arm,
Really?
and like it triggered a system.
Did they put you on blood thinners and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
What did they give you? Rivaroxaban?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are both
Oh my God,
together.
I mean,
They put me
wow.
on the oxygen, and I just come out of hospital, and I'm not having morphine or codeine anymore.
Yeah. Have you got off it?
Yeah, off it.
Was it hard, yeah?
Vomiting.
Yeah, it's disgusting, isn't it? Your stomach and that, isn't it?
It just shows that they don't know what they're doing.
No, and things about those drugs.
Put on me.
When you're in so much pain, you probably kill you with pain, but then they need to help.
Bro, how old are you? did you have?
Oh, too many.
Too many as well. And what? Do you know what lung was it in?
I have to go. Thank
okay.
you so much.
Right lung.
Thank you. See you later.
It was in my right lung.
Yeah. Anytime, bro.
My left arm.
Yeah. Oh, you had it in your arm?
Are you in a discussion this